Hello, everyone. We are going to be talking about a very different topic today on autism. What is the correlation of diet with autism? I don't know if you have an autistic child or you know someone who has an autistic kid, and how does the diet plays a role for an autistic kid, a child who's suffering with autism. So joining me would be a diet coach, Darolyn Lewis. She specializes in the kids, and when she will be joining me in 1 second, um, and she will be talking about how the different diet like gluten and dairy can impact an autistic child. So hopefully she can join me right now, and then we can talk about your questions if you have any questions. So I think from what we have seen, the questions that we will be talking about is the correlation of gluten and dairy with autism. Then we will also be talking about the correlation of diet with autism. And then some of the other things like, what are the nutritional deficiencies most of the kids have, who are autistic. So she will be, if you have any questions, you are welcome to put it out there. There you are. Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm
You
good. How
finally
are
figured
you?
it out.
Yes. Sorry about that. Technical
That's
issues.
okay. That's okay. That's okay. I was just trying to tell our viewers as much as I could about the topic, and I'll let you introduce yourself. This is Darolyn Lewis. She is a health coach and nutritionist who focuses on the autism and the diet correlation. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself so that we can go to the questions after that.
Yes, no problem. So I'm Darolyn Lewis. I'm a certified GAPS practitioner, functional nutrition therapy practitioner. And I basically help parents implement and maintain nutritious lifestyles for their children on the autism spectrum so they can gain a better quality of life. So my focus is helping parents understand the correlation between nutrition and autism and understand how they can help their child by focusing on nutrition. So that's my main goal, is try to get the word out that nutrition plays a big role in autism.
No, and food is the medicine. I mean, we are now, the whole blogs and all the internet is full of this topic on food is the medicine and how food plays a pivotal role in all the other chronic conditions as well, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Major role. Yes. And that's something that I am passionate about. I do have a son that's on autism spectrum that benefited tremendously when I started shifting to a nutritious lifestyle for him. So
Okay. So let's talk dive a little bit deeper into autism. And so from the diet perspective, you're only talking about the diet perspective. You don't want to talk about what autism is. People probably know about that.
yeah.
So what is the correlation of gluten and dairy? Do you see is there any correlation? If you take out gluten or dairy, you think there's a difference, with the autistic child?
Oh, definitely. So gluten, of course, is found in wheat, barley, rye, and
Yeah,
dairy is pretty much found in mammals' milk, cow's milk, sheep
yeah,
milk, goats, all of that.
yeah.
So when you take gluten and dairy out of the diet, it helps to lower the inflammation in our children's intestinal line. These proteins are very difficult for a lot of people to digest, and
Yeah.
mainly children that have compromised intestinal walls in general. So they are both important, and I feel like probably one of the top things that parents should consider removing initially to start with to help their
Gluten and
child.
dairy, both.
Yes, both, because they act similar. Like I said, gluten is found in more of a wheat
Yeah.
products, breads and stuff, and dairy is found in milk and stuff. But both of them are difficult to digest. The proteins are big, and if the children have compromised intestinal walls, that those proteins leak through the wall and cause a host of different ailments, behavior issues, anxiety, depression. I mean, all of the stuff that we're seeing with children on the spectrum, a lot of it has to do with the food.
Yeah,
So
yeah. How come
yeah,
we didn't know this when we were growing up? Our moms used to,
I know. I guess
we grew up drinking milk.
yes, I know.
And
It's difficult because I feel like it's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff is changing since we were smaller. A lot of pesticides, herbicides. So we I don't know. I think it's environmental that our children now. I mean, even in school, you're seeing peanut allergies, dairy intolerant. I mean, it's common now. You know.
Yes.
So I do feel like, I mean, we need to look into this more. Parents just have to do what they have to do to help their children. Basically, start by removing the things that affect them negatively.
No, I completely agree. I'm just wondering, like, we grew up drinking milk and eating yogurt and all kind of things that were dairy related, and even wheat, the wheat tortillas and breads and all that. I mean, that's how we grew up. And now look at it. We are saying don't eat what will our generation grew up eating that. That's the point I'm trying to, it's like something shift has happened in the food industry itself, right?
Yep, it's a shift. And that is something that I'm seeing. And even if a child has not been diagnosed with autism spectrum, you're seeing stuff like asthma, eczema, all of these different ailments could be very well linked to the food. Dairy and gluten could be an issue for those children also. So
so what would be the alternatives? Like, should they drink plant-based milk, like oat milk or almond milk, or I mean, what are the alternatives that you tell them to do?
Yes, most parents, I don't suggest go to soy milk. Some of them think, I mean, because sometimes soy protein, children have a problem digesting that as well. So I opt for more of a coconut, almond milk. They do have oat milk. Sometimes kids like oat milk, but I'm more of an almond coconut milk fan. It depends on what your kid would enjoy. You can try both, but I just tell parents to stay away from soy milk.
Stay away from soy milk. Go for coconut, almond, and then oat milk. I see that in the and any plant based.
Cashew milk.
Cashew milk is also there. Okay.
Yeah. Just see how their children react.
Yeah, and then gluten. Like if the kids don't eat wheat, they can't eat wheat. What would you recommend that they eat to?
So there's so many different gluten-free products out there. I am not a fan of promoting processed foods. Okay. So I normally suggest that parents get in the kitchen and experiment with making different breads and
with different
muffins, different grains. All together. And just see, most kids don't notice the difference, Some do. I mean, my son did not, start young, and they'll accept it. So you can use an almond flour, coconut flour, tapioca. They have so many alternative flours out there.
So just use different flours to bake the breads or even tortillas or whatever.
Cookies, anything. I normally promote families to try to get in the kitchen more, because it's so important that what ingredients you're putting in your food. Because just because your kid may not be having problems right now, if you go to gluten-free breads, I mean, it could be something in there, glyphosate is all over, different ingredients they could be reacting to.
Absolutely. So in your opinion, you have helped so many kids and parents, right, with these nutritional. So when you start them, when they come to you, what is the different behavior change that you see after they get on your program? That's what I would like the viewers to find out. Because it's important.
It is. So many parents they start off with their kid being very aggressive. Temper tantrums is something I see a lot of. I also see picky eating, not being able to sleep is another big one. And a lot of this is just stemming from the same root cause, nutrition. If you so what I do is normally work with them slowly, because you can't just, the kids on autism spectrum, you can't just go cold turkey. You have to kind of implement slowly. So you add in some of the good stuff and slowly start removing the bad stuff. So for example, if I had a family that I was starting off with the let's get on the dairy-free and gluten-free diet, I would have the parents slowly, like if the kid was eating 3 or 4 cups of milk, drinking 3 or 4 cups of milk, I would slowly say, okay, start taking out 1 cup first, adding in a little almond milk just to see if they'll like it, and then just make it a slow process, because if you go cold turkey, it'll cause a lot of issues. I mean, your kid the tantrums will just get worse and worse, you know.
Yeah.
So I start with that. I meet parents where they are. So it's not one size fit all here. It's the parents come to me with the problems, and every child on the spectrum is different. And I meet them where they are. What is it that you're seeing that we need to work on first, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I give them a sheet, and they just tell me what, you know, what they're feeding them. And that's when I found a lot of the issues. They're not eating much
healthy
nutrient.
food.
Yeah, it's a lot of processed.
Yeah, how do you keep them away from McDonald's of the world?
You know, it's all about the parents. Keep in mind, our kids are young. Most of them I see are younger, and they can't go to a McDonald's drive-through. They can't drive, you know. So I talk to the parents more and say, you just have to understand that this food is making your child sick. And once they get that in their head and they understand the correlation between diet and autism, they stay away, you know. And it's hard at first because you want to go through and get something quick and easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to cook, but I remember I was there before. So, but once you start seeing the progress that your child makes, you're hooked. Yeah.
Wow. So what are the other thing is that, is there any common nutritional deficiencies that you have observed with kids who are autistic?
Oh yeah. A lot of it comes from, you know, of course, the food they're eating, but most often I see zinc being deficient. Yeah, zinc, magnesium, fish oil, you know, omega-3s.
Yeah.
Some children, they're not getting any like nutrients at all from food. So it's just different things. Some of them don't have a lot of, for example, vitamin C is another one. You know, they need vitamin C at times. So it just depends. I mean, all children are different. When I say zinc, the reason why I say zinc is because I get so many parents that are struggling with picky eating, you know, and picky eating is known to be caused by zinc deficiencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, so then you will also give them supplements like zinc, or do you also only focus on the food that has zinc and then tell them, okay, you know, so is it a combination or what
it's
happens?
a combination. Yes, I am with children. They don't swallow pills, and you know, it's hard to get them to take certain different foods because of taste. Very sensitive with taste. So I start with diet first. I normally always start with diet because I think it's so important to get diet corrected first before you start throwing a whole bunch of supplements. I mean, at times you can do it together, you know, if your child would take the supplements. So I just start with diet first, and then we work our way up to what they need nutritional wise through supplements.
Got it. So do you also start with the testing? Is that the first like the starting point, or they already have tested and then they come to you? They obviously they are autistic and then they come to you, but then you do pre and post like a test after some few months to see the nutritional deficiencies?
Normally I don't test right away. I just work on what they're like the diet first and then the changes. Now, some parents, they may have already done a lot of testing, but I honestly feel that the body will tell you, you know, what you need as you're working through. You will see what behavior changes, and testing is something that I don't go to first. Now, I'm not saying I would never test, but I just feel like we spend a lot of money on testing, and then the next day your child can be deficient in a totally different nutrients. Okay. So, I feel like working on the diet and trying to get that gut healed and then test to see where your child is at is okay. So I try to help parents save money in that avenue.
Okay. No, I think that makes sense. And there's no test for measuring a behavior, right? I hope there was a test.
I know, I wish to, but no. And this is from experience because I remember when I was down my journey years ago when my son was a toddler, I would get tested and spend a lot of money on tests, and then I get tested again. And that one nutritional deficiency had changed to something else. And it was like, okay, when did it was like a whole bunch of money being spent. So it's okay. And I think it's good, but I'm just not the person that goes there first.
Okay. You start the diet first.
Yes. Diet first and then see.
Yeah. And most of these autism, I'm not familiar too much about this topic, but for our viewers, are they born with it or is it acquired, like the autism itself?
It's both ways. I'm seeing a lot of people getting it after the age of 2, which is what happened to not saying, I mean, noticing it after the age of 2. Everything is normal, and all of a sudden the children just decline around the age of 2. And it's just something that's changed. I mean, the parents that are born with it, they know from birth that their child has it based on the, the symptoms and the behaviors and stuff. But nowadays I'm seeing it happen, like children are normal into the age of 2, and then all of a sudden they crash and they turn autistic, just
after
after 2. So
and I don't want to talk about a sensitive subject on immunization, because I think there has been too much written about it, and I don't want to go there at all. So this show is only about how diet can help a sick child and kid, and what you can do. So I don't know what they can do from a newborn to a 2 to really, because most of the time moms are breastfeeding, like until the kids are at least 6-9 months, and then maybe the mom is also needs a cleansing, and the diet that they are getting is also full of pesticides, because as a mom you are also consuming a pesticide, so there might be correlation there too, right?
Definitely. I feel like it's a lot that goes on before the child has even arrived into the world. So us as parents, me being guilty, did not know what I was doing when I was pregnant. I did not know the nutrients that I needed and how what I was eating could affect my child. So I do feel like that is a topic that is good to investigate before anyone starts having kids, to make sure you're eating good, taking care of yourself and staying away from all of the toxic chemicals and pesticides, everything that you can, to be as clean as possible for your child to be healthy as well.
That makes sense. Anything else you'd like to add, Darolyn, before we wrap up?
No, I just want parents to know that the parents that are out there struggling, that there is hope. There is hope out there. Working on diet is the first step, and that's why I'm so passionate about helping parents. I feel you have to get that diet right before everything else falls in place. So I really appreciate you for having me on to talk, and
Thank you so much. And for all the viewers, I see quite a few people have joined. Some people are joining at the end. It's okay. We started right on time. That's what we try to do. So, but if you have any questions, you're welcome to DM us. And then we are coming up with programs next year, wellness programs. So we will also let you know when the programs are there, simple prevention-based programs that we will be launching in January. So thank you so much. And thank you for watching. And thank you so much, Darolyn, for
very
important topic. Very important topic. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yes, you too. Bye-bye.